Welcome to SportsHub for Tote Tasmania's YouTube channel, and it's the big dance, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. Hobart Cup time is upon us on Sunday at Elwick. We've had a good start at the Summer Carnival, and it heats up. Shane Donoghue's with me. How are you, Butsy?
Oh, very good, Flash.
I must say, you're looking very sharp in your shirt and the tie. I've never seen that.
Well, I don't normally.
The makeup lady's been out there for 2 hours, ladies.
She's had to polish a little bit of the top here just to get the shine going, maybe diminish it a little bit, Flash.
Look, it's a fantastic time to be around. The Cups are upon us, and it's Hobart on Sunday at Elwick. Of course, the big dance too at Caulfield on Saturday is where we see Black Caviar run over 1,400 metres in the Orr Stakes. We've got plenty to talk about as far as Caulfield goes, with plenty of special guests as well. We've
been out and about. You've definitely had a stunning week.
Yeah,
on that sort of side of it, haven't you?
Plenty of special guests that you're going to really enjoy their insight later on. But we're going to preview the Hobart Cup Carnival, which is in full swing, as we said, Hobart Cup Day. Firstly, the Strut Stakes, which is a wonderful event for the 3-year-olds. Very skinny field, Shane, but there's certainly a winner in every race, and I think we've got the form pretty right here.
Oh, we've narrowed it right down, and it might even be a little bit of a relative to maybe the winner of the Hobart Cup.
Yes.
So the GGs, very prominent in Tasmania.
Talking about GG's La Quinta, of course, which is going to be a very short price favourite, no doubt about that. And it was a sensational run the first time over a mile last start, and it's going to look very, very hard to beat, Shane.
Yeah, look, it had a tremendous run last time on the tote.com.au Stakes Day. It won with a leg in the air.
It did, yeah. It's
definitely the form horse going into the race, and I think it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, no, it wins for me. Yeah, no doubt about that. It's going to be. There's an interesting runner for Alex McPherson, a young trainer over in Victoria, has brought a horse over called Temper Tantrum. Won the last two, a good win over a mile at Werribee in pretty quick time. Reece McLeod's on board that one, and that looks to be one horse which may just challenge the GG phenomenon.
The GGs.
Of course, worth $100,000 this race.
It's a very lucrative race for Tasmania. Now, look, and Colin McNiff, he's up and about it. And Colin's very good. He's a doyen of Tasmanian racing, really. Yes. I spoke to him earlier on today, and you'll see it later on. He likes Temper Tantrum.
Yes.
Really likes Temper Tantrum. Obviously, the crowd favourite and the local favourite, GG's La Quinta, the sister of GG's Black Flash, will go out as favourite, I would have thought.
Yeah, no doubt.
But definitely Temper Tantrum. And the other one I like there is Visual Effects.
Okay.
With Stephen Maskeel on board.
Yes.
Barry Campbell trained.
Yes.
Hasn't had the best of carnivals though, Stephen Maskeel, has he? So,
no, it's been a tough one for the veteran. And of course, Brendan McCool's out as well. And they're the two guys that you're so used to featuring prominently over the summertime here in Hobart and Launceston as well. And McCool on the sideline, so I've had a good chat to him. He's recuperating well, of course, which I'm sure all the people will be keen to know. But Maskeel's been very light on, but you know the quality of the veteran. He's a star at this time of the year, and he'll be putting his hand up.
Well, look, you never write champion after.
No doubt about that. Just for the record, I've got Oxy Angel in for third. Look, as we said, it's a tight field, only 7 in it. Hard to get a winner. Oxy Angel came through the form, of course, in the Guineas a week or so ago, the same race as GG's La Quinta did. So, for me, that's the way to go at this stage.
Shuji Amano on Oxy Angel, very good hoop from down here in Tassie.
So that's where we're going. I reckon it's going to be a GG start anyway, of course. That's race 6. The first leg of the quaddie, Shane, we're going to go through all the quaddie legs for we've got to be honest here, the form's been good.
It has,
we've just been very sharp between us. We've got all the winners on the weekend in the 4 major races. Got 2 out of 2 in the feature at Launceston. Let's hope we don't put the Mozza on ourselves here, of course, which is likely. Race 7, of course, the Thorpe Industries Class 2 over 1,400 metres. Shane, this is a race you found very tough and you went through the form. What did you like?
Well, I did. I spoke to Ronan Keogh, our man.
He's our man,
Ronan Keogh.
Yep.
Who, and you can see his look at the field on the YouTube channel as well. Just have a look for the video there. Look, I went through the field, Flash, and I like the chances of the Gary White trained Shadu.
Yes.
He's got the champion hoop, Dean Yendall, on board, who's been in tremendous form, not only of late, but over the last few years. Predominantly a Victoria country rider. He has raced in some.
Oh, he's outstanding, Dean Yendall.
Yeah, outstanding. Anything around, a bit like Nifty Neville, my man Nifty Neville. Anything around the Mourneable Country Victoria races, Dean Yendall is your man.
The reason we both liked it, over the 6 furlongs last start at Launceston, won very comfortably, folks. Make no mistake about it. Not sure the prices aren't up at this stage, but it's going to be. Guinness probably start favourite, won by 3 lengths over 1,200 metres at Launceston recently. So stepping up to the 1,400 he's got obviously the hoop is very important. We know what Dean Yendall brings to the table. So
Yes.
looks, with myself, that was my tip as well. The one I put in for second was Fifi's Uncle Max for Stephen Lockhart, and your little man Yedimova, the apprentice.
Yeah, I like him very.
A couple of good wins in the last 2 starts. Just quickly for third, I'm going with Elle of Westbury. It's going to be at a reasonable price. Tammy Mulross, ladies and gentlemen. She is a young lady.
Up and comer.
Yeah, she's on the up. Craig Newt on board. Enough said too.
Did her apprenticeship with the Goggins stable,
Yes.
so she's certainly had a wealth of knowledge under the belt there.
The only issue with that horse, of course, it is coming from barrier 12, which is going to be tough. Big fields, unlike some of the other races. The Class 2 Thorpe Industries handicap has got a stellar field. So they're the numbers. And you had one more.
One more. Obviously, Ronan Keogh. He's very up and about She's Tipsy.
Yes.
It's coming from barrier 10, might even come into barrier 9 with the acceptance when the acceptances come out. 54 kilos. Looked raced very well last time.
Yeah.
It'll be at a good
very
price.
biased, Ronan. Ronan is your boy.
He is my boy.
Of course, you did a very good interview with Ronan today.
Yes.
He's lost his ride, of course, in the Hobart Cup, unfortunately.
Alexander Hales.
Very disappointing.
Pulled up a bit sore, he told me.
Okay.
So,
he certainly gave it a good ride.
He gave it every chance, but it just pulled up sore. The owners probably didn't want to waste the money, so they just pulled it out.
Yeah. So Ronan Keogh, of course, coming up with an interview with Shane, which you'll catch on the SportsHub website, which is moving in leaps and bounds. We're very proud of how it's going.
Well,
and
it's doing very well.
Got a big following. Shane, race 8, the big one. It's a short field, it's a small field. 10 in at the Hobart Cup, of course, we're talking about. An outstanding little field. I know a lot of people complained about there's not many in it, and I agree. Only 10's a bit of a shame for the calendar race on the Tasmanian Carnival, but it's a pretty good field of 10 races with plenty of interstate visitors and a local champ called GG's Black Flash.
Tremendous horse. We last start we watched it, and it came round the turn, and in about 2 lengths, in about 2 strides, it put about 6 lengths on the opposition. So,
talking about the Summer Cup, of course, that carried 60 kilos, and it's had 4 starts.
It had a fridge.
Yeah, it did. 4 starts since its amazing win first up over 1,200 metres. It got a Thomas Lyon on the way. It's been outstanding. GG's Black Flash starts at $3 on fixed odds at the moment. For me, Shane, we've spent all night looking at this form. We've talked with so many people about this, you wouldn't believe, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I can see it getting beat at this stage.
Well, look, it's definitely the tremendous horse of the field. The thing that I like about GG's Black Flash is it's out of a Clangaling side, which has got a great heritage. It's won an AGC Derby over 2,400 metres. It's beat the likes of Norsky and Catwin Boy in its last race. It just doesn't look troubled, and it's got a great owner, Paul Geard, who races and owns all the GG horses.
Yep.
It's going to be a folk.
Folklore.
It will go down in folklore as a crowd favourite for the Hobart Cup. So I'm all over GG's Black Flash. Definitely the one to beat.
What's interesting, I mean, it has had 33 starts and only 10 wins. It's won $400,000, of course, but this prep has been outstanding. I reckon Johnny Luttrell's got this horse right where he needs it. A lot of people have declared it. Colin McNiff, as we'll see early, has certainly got the one to beat. Peter Staples declared it the winner almost, which is a big call from Pete. He's
big Pete.
Very astute. I found it very easy for the second horse. I like the chances of Dream Fly. Craig New at $12 on fixed odds. I reckon it really needed the run back off the Devonport Cup run from a few weeks ago. Just at the 300, I thought it was going to gobble up the next horse we'll talk about, of course, but it didn't. $12 looks a big price to me. I don't think it'll start $12 on Sunday, folks. Get on Tote Sport, or get on the Tote Sport. Better Sport fixed odds right now, because I think $12 and $3 a place is extravagant. Dreamfly for me for second. For third, I found very, very tough to go with, but I'm going to go with Fieldmaster. I thought Fieldmaster was terrific the other day.
What a great ride by Michelle Payne.
Yeah, look, terrific ride, Michelle Payne. Patrick Payne, very, very happy with the mount going forward. It's pretty simple 3 for me. I don't know that there's going to be an enormous amount of value as far as the trifecta punters go, Shane, but that's the way I went with it at this stage.
Well, look, folks, it's GG's Black Flash for me. And look, incidentally, you can get $3 on Better Sport, which is about 50 cents more than you get on any other interstate tote or bookie. So tremendous value there shown by Better Sport. Very, very well done to them. Flash, for me, I like Fieldmaster again. Tremendous. If Michelle Payne can give it the same ride as she gave on Sunday, where she just put it to sleep, it didn't really have to do much around the whole course, and then she got a really good line coming into the straight. Not much effort. Dreamflyer did try to run it down, but it seemed to me like Dreamflyer didn't have much in the tank.
Depends which way you look at that, I reckon, because according to Craig Newt, it was the run it had to have to get. So the improvement's going to be interesting. Of course, the 1 week backup is pivotal, I reckon. So some of these horses, how they respond. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays
out.
And
probably one that I think will come third, and definitely an each way chance, is Ray de Jeu, the New Zealand horse. Don't know quite who's going to ride it. Maybe Jason Waddle will make his way over from the land of the long.
No, it's official. Stephen Maskill's on.
Stephen Maskill's on.
So there's your man you've been talking about, the veteran.
This could be the race.
New Zealand born, Tasmanian.
Yeah, well, there you go. Ray de Jeu should be a bit of value. It's about $4 on the $4.50 on the tote now, $6. Not quite sure, but should be some value. And look, just as a little outsider, Flash.
Oh, you're still banging on about this horse.
Mr. Isaac.
He just can't. Well, folks, just for the record at home, Shane has been going about Mr. Isaac ever since he's put his hard-earned on it, $151 on the fixed odds, and just a little snibble either way.
Well, look, it's not the worst bet you'll ever make. It came flying home in the Devonport Cup, ridden by my man, Rainy Keogh. Gave it, he had to come 8 wide round the corner, and it came home like a low-flying aeroplane. So you could do worse at the $101 quote on Better Sport.
I do have a little bit of a theory. This is my theory, and I'm talking it not in Shane's head, out of his mouth either, is that he really thinks that GG's Black Flash is going to win, but of course he backed Fieldmaster the special the other day at $7.50. I reckon he wants to back up. They were our tips anyway, so if you want to get a look at some of the professionals, this is what they thought.
So my tips for the Hobart Cup this year are the strongest chance is a local horse, GG's Blackflash. It's run over this distance and won at this distance. It ran the 2 years ago in the Derby and won easily there. Its form in recent months has been spectacular. It's a good horse, local horse, knows the track, the rider knows the track, and it will win very well. Close behind it will be a New Zealand horse, Donoghue. Again, has raced over this distance and performed very well, and I expect that to be the only real threat to GG's Blackflash.
Okay, my tip for the Hobart Cup 2012 is Fieldmaster. I like the combination of Michelle and Patrick Payne, the brother-sister trainer-rider thing. I think they know the horse's weaknesses and strengths. Barrier 2 gets a good jump, rails sit, and that's the shortest way home. It had a great hit out on Derby Day, similar distance, beat a few of the same ones it's going to come up against in the Cup, so that'll stand it in good stead. I like its heritage too, being a New Zealand horse. There's a bit of rain predicted between now and the Cup, so that won't worry it at all. So, Fieldmaster, get on it. Hobart Cup, good luck.
I hope it's a local victory with GG's Backflash, and I think for an outsider is Viking Hero.
Group 3, Hobart Cup on Sunday. Looking forward to it, and very much in the corner of GG's Blackflash. Local champ, won its last 4. Looks a good thing for me. $3 a price with Better Sport. You're getting better than elsewhere. Competitors betting $2.50, $2.60. To take the special, GG's Blackflash, $3 in the Hobart Cup.
Well, so there you go, David Goldenon's true. He just thinks that $3 is just money for old rope, Shane.
He's been all over it all week. Yeah. So and look, tremendous value. So why wouldn't you go to Better Sport?
Race 9 is the next leg of the quad. It's the Thomas Line over 1,400 metres, and it's a pretty good race, worth $100,000, Shane, and once again headed by the top weight Youthful Jack.
Tremendous horse. We spoke about it last week. It's won, well, the week before, at tote.com.au stakes tonight. Over $850,000 in prize money. Definitely the class horse in the field. And also, we've got Dream Peddler in there again.
Yes.
And Mott Spur. It's a quality field.
Yes, it is.
Very good field.
And, of course, too many reds and some good horses in this Heartbreak Kid, Nicastro too, which is a grand veteran. So I found it hard to go past the top weight here, Shane. Youthful Jack, another race we really struggled with to get around after this. Outstanding performance first up in Tassie last start. It was tremendous. It looked to have the class edge. It's certainly going to carry 59 kilos, but to me, it looks at this distance, just about its pet distance, to have a little bit on these. Too many reds for me is the interesting run. It failed last start for Charlie Goggin and Craig Newt, but For mine, I reckon this is the race they've targeted with too many reds. It was a good second, of course, in the Devonport Cup. Back at the 1400 metres, I like this horse a lot. And I'm putting Motspur, the obvious one, I reckon, there for Damien Oliver. Charlie Goggin as well, and for third.
Look, Flash, I tend to agree with you with Useful Jack. It's very hard to go past the top weight. One in there that I like, and I keep coming back to my man, Rain and Keogh, but look, it flew home for a fifth last start.
No, it was a good run.
It was a tremendous run. It looked like it had a lot left in the tank. I'm talking about Relentless Pursuit, Julie Richards trained. Rain is going to be coming out of barrier 9, which probably doesn't suit the horse that well. It doesn't like coming out of the wide barriers over the shorter distances. But look, I'm going to definitely back that for each way. And look, I like your man, Craig Newitt again. Too many reds. Tremendous run last start. It looked like it needed that run.
I think so.
Coming into this race, it's going to look hard to beat.
Base balance last start, you might get a reasonable price. Youthful Jack for me, though, Shane, with too many reds, the danger. Race 10 is the final leg of the quaddie, folks. The Betflair Class 4 handicap over 1100 metres. And again, a very even field. Plenty of 12 horses in the field at this stage, barring any scratchings. It looks a tough race to pick. It's interesting, the Thomas Lyon, I guess to a certain extent, the Hobart Cup are a bit lighter on the fields. But the other quaddie legs, there's plenty to choose from, so you're certainly going to get some value on the tape as far as your quaddie purchases go.
Look, obviously the lucky last, Get Out Stakes, there's going to be a lot of people there that are going to be looking for that race to build up the bank after probably a very heavy day.
I think so.
Look, I can't really go past the Troy Blacker trained Navarro. Look, very good. Dean Yendall again. He's just got a knack of getting home in the quaddie in the last leg. He's got the barrier 1 over the 1100 metres, probably the best barrier to get over the 1100 metres. I really like its chances in this race. It's probably a pretty easy field for it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it looks hard to beat, and that's certainly what I've got in for second down the bottom weight for Dean Yendall, 54.5 kilos. Barrier 1's going to be very advantageous. But Bank Camo for me, for David and Scott Brunch at the top of the week. Michael Guthrie hasn't probably the last week or so, hadn't had the really cream rides he looked to, but he's been outstanding. Michael Guthrie rode 4 the other week at Elwick, of course. He's riding double price figure winners for fun the last month, and he's been terrific. It's got barrier 6. It'll be well suited in there. It'll get a nice sit and go pretty close. I reckon wide open spaces for Charlie Goggin and James Winks for third.
Look, I think the other place for me, Lenaro, David Perez, named after the Arsenal footballer Robert Perez.
Yes,
looks very good. Tough at Heart's going to be hard to beat as well. Very good field actually for the last race. It's going to be a tough race to pick.
So there's the fields for the Elwick edition of the Hobart Cup. It's going to be fantastic to watch and how it's going to unfold. Of course, going forward, looking forward to Oakstone and Launceston in a couple of weeks' time on the Wednesday, and then it's the big one up there, the Launceston Cup on Wednesday, the 29th. Folks, we're going to have a very quick look at the Caulfield meet, which, as Shane mentioned earlier, we had the privilege of talking to some of the real instigators in the business. Jill Taylor, of course, one of the part owners of Black Caviar, lovely lady. The footage wasn't that great, unfortunately, which you'll see shortly. It was raining, and poor Jill had the camera and the umbrella in front of us, a bit of precipitation, Shane. But she was lovely and was really up and about, talking about first up performance of Black Caviar over the 1400 metres. This is what Jill had to say.
All right, special guest here on SportsHub, which is really interesting. Jill Taylor. Now, Jill's one of the part owners of Black Caviar. What brings you down to Tassie for the day?
We have friends that invited us down for the derby. So we're down here and it's a beautiful day. Really enjoying it.
Well, it is a nice day. The weather's just starting to kick in, but it's a friendly atmosphere. Not a huge crowd today, but it must be nice and relaxed for you to come out of the rat race of what you're obviously used to.
Yes, it is. And it's very relaxing. We're having a lovely time and able to look at the horses and really enjoy it. It's beautiful.
Now, the Grand Mare, it's such a privilege to talk to you about something obviously so close to it. Fantastic start a couple of weeks ago, first up. You must have been delighted with that.
We were delighted. 17, we're racing in a matter of days. Oh, it's a week now that we're racing next week. So, we were delighted.
Now, this is a big test next week, going up to the 1400. It's the first thing. We're all waited bated breath for it. Obviously, the Moody camp and yourselves, you're pretty confident that it's going to be no problems at all?
We are confident. Peter's very confident. I think we're still nervous. We're always nervous. It wouldn't matter when she's racing. Anything can happen, and everyone knows that. But we are fairly confident that she will notch up her 18th win, yes.
And I guess how she races may determine going forward so many options, or goes where the next track will be.
That's correct, yeah. So it all depends on how she pulls up. So that will determine what she's going to do, but it's a big year for all of us and for all of Australia, really. Yeah.
Just tell us, Jill, give us a little bit of an insight on what it's been like, the journey over the last 2.5, 3 years, having this grandmare. Can you give us a little bit of what it's like as a...
What can I say? It's just been incredible. It's been amazing. The excitement, the thrill, the buzz, every time she races, it's just exhilarating.
I wish we had a big race down here in Hobart. We could invite her down there. I don't think it's going to happen, but look, Jill, all the best going forward. And it's been such a joy, obviously, talking to you, but what a journey you've had.
Thank you. And thanks for having us here today. It's been great. You're putting on a great show here.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
So Jill, lovely lady, outstanding. She really enjoyed her time down in Hobart, I can assure you. She had just a lovely time. It was a warm, humid day, and it was a bit wet, as we mentioned. But
she looked like she was enjoying herself.
Oh, she did. No,
it'd be something that look. She's so much pressure on her over the bigger race courses like Caulfield and Flemington.
Yes.
So it'd be great for them to come down here, just relax, let their hair down a little bit, and she looked very easy on the eye, Jill, too.
She was a very, very attractive, mature lady, and my mate Shane here thought she was a good looking lady. But she was a lovely lady, Jill, no doubt about that. It's a beautiful field, the Orr Stakes. It's short. It's when I say it's short, there's a lot of stars coming this over the 1400 metres that probably don't look a winning chance. But there's certainly some quality. If you go away from Black Caviar just for a minute, I really like the chance of playing God as the thing to run second. It was an outstanding performance in the Kingston Town at Ascot over the 1800 metres. It's got a good first up record, a win at a couple of placings. The Perth horse we're talking about, it looks like the one for me which will run second, because they will be running for second behind Black Caviar, no doubt about that.
So you don't think, Flash, that Black Caviar have any trouble of handling that extra 200 metres?
It'll win, and it'll win on Sear.
And let's be just make the watchers clear. It's definitely, this is the first time it's ever run the 1400 metres. So.
No doubt. But every time it looks like it wins with a leg in the air, and we'll get to see that over Caulfield over the 7 furlongs. For third, Shane, Southern Speed, what a fantastic win first up over 1200 metres. Craig Williams doesn't think he can win. He said that pretty cut and dry, but I think they'll run into the placing for me. So just recapping the numbers, number 8, Black Caviar from number 2, Playing God. And down the bottom, the Cox Plate winning mare, Southern Speed, for third.
Look, Flash, and interesting the odds, $1.04 Black Caviar, and then the next best, Southern Speed, $15. And then $61, if you don't mind, the next horse. So they're really running for the place here, aren't they? So
what will your place get us, Shane?
Well, look, Southern Speed, really, it's a quality horse, apart from Black Caviar, obviously. Craig Williams rides her very well, and it looked tremendous last start. Look, just one down the bottom there, Efficient, a Melbourne Cup winner.
Well, you can have Efficient. It's 2.5 years since its last win. We'd love Efficient to find something again. It's been a wonderful stay, but it hasn't won since the spring of 2009. And it was a bit disappointing last year.
Look, I just think something a bit of value, and look, the punters love it.
It just made you a fortune years ago. You're still hanging on to it.
$51 I paid that day, I think, Flash.
That's right.
In the Melbourne Cup. So look, I have that in your exotics as well. But look, Black Caviar, it's going to be extraordinary to watch, and wow, what a horse.
During the week, we had a privilege of talking to one of the great men of Australian racing, the number 1 caller, Australia Wild, one of my heroes, Shane, Greg Miles, and Greg was happy enough to give us his time.
Welcome to SportsHub. We're here at the morning, the barrier draw at the Hobart Cup, and I'm very, very privileged to talk to one of the heroes of mine, Greg Miles. Greg, welcome to Hobart.
Pleasure to be here again. It's always good fun. Been a good morning for the barrier draw, and hopefully they'll have a great day for the Cup.
Tell me, you've got an association with Hobart. You and Colin McNiff go back a long way. And to just briefly tell me your relationship, when did it start with Carl?
Oh, well, Cole's a Melbourne boy, although he spent most of his life in Tasmania now. But when we were 16, 17, we were both practising to become race callers. We'd be up at the back of the grandstands calling races into our tape recorders. And we'd do the trots and the dogs and the gallops together and socialise quite often together as well. So, in fact, one quick story I'll tell you, we called the greyhound trials one night. There were 35 of them, and the local bloke did 31 and we did 2 each, but we were there and having a crack. We went out for dinner that night, had a pub in Carlton somewhere, and we got talking racing, as you do, you know. We're going through all the Caulfield Cup winners and couldn't quite remember one, 1972. So I rang up my dad. I was still living at home. Dad, get the Miller's Guide out and tell me who won the 1972 Caulfield Cup. He said, do you know what time it is? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, it's very late and I'll do this one thing for you. So he got the Miller's Guide out and he said, it's what you're not, sober.
Yes, there you go. The Melbourne Cup was it Gurner's piping?
That was 72. 72, Piping Lane won the Melbourne Cup that year. Yeah, that's right.
Tell us, you've had the great privilege of watching one of the best horses we've ever seen, of course, Black Caviar, and on the weekend it steps up to 1400 in the Orr Stakes. What's your thoughts?
Oh, look, I think she's the greatest thing I've seen on the race course, and I was very fortunate when I started calling. I had the great Kingston Town and Manikato, and they're my benchmark horses for 30 plus years. But she's taken over that mantle now. I've never seen anything like her, and we know when we watch her, we're watching the best in the world, and it's a real buzz to call her, knowing that. And yep, it's going to be the next step. We haven't seen her past 1,200 metres, but I couldn't imagine it being an issue for her. I think she'll win as comfortably as she's been winning at the shorter trips.
Always giving the impression that there's plenty left in the tank. Is that your gut feel going an extra furlong won't be a problem?
I wouldn't think so. We've hardly seen her tested. You know, I think once it was at the Tommy Smith in Sydney, when Hayliss got away on her, and she really had to find something. And maybe we saw a little bit of her being bottomed in the Newmarket, but you know, maybe not. She had 58 and ran a track record or a race record. So we've hardly ever seen her tested. We really still, amazingly, don't know how good she is. But I don't think she'll be tested on Saturday. Maybe when she gets over and takes on the best in the world, we might see her, you know, having to be stretched a little, but we haven't seen it yet.
Greg Miles, he was just an outstanding person to talk to, Shane. He gave us plenty of his time. We had a good chat to him off the air as well, and he is the doyen, Shane. Just very quickly, just to finish up, we're going to have a quick look at just the winners only too. The Blue Diamond Prelude's on the week for the Colts and Geldings, of course, and the fillies. Just quickly, I'm going to have a look at the Prelude for the Colts. Greenwich for me. For Dwayne Dunn, it's a Michael Hawkes, Wayne and John Hawkes horse, of course. First up, I reckon you'll get $7 or $8, which I think is a good price. It's a tough race, but that's my tip.
I'm going to go the Peter Moody trained Planet Voyage. You'll get odds of about $5 for that flush, which I think's nearly money for old rope. Luke Nolan on board. He's going to be up and about because he's on Black Caviar, so this could be just a little sweetener for him just before the big race.
The fillies is a bit harder to pick, Shane, but I've gone with the Mick Price horse Summer Ready for Craig Newitt, barrier 10. Tough race, 12 stars, and there's a lot of form. There's a lot of winners that have come out, unlike the Colts and Gears, a lot of winners that have produced already. So that's going to be tough, and it's going to be an even race, but yes, Summer Ready for me.
Look, always very hard to pick the 2-year-olds because they're very up and down, aren't they? Very temperamental. Look, for me, it's going to be Members Joy, Robert Smurden trained, Mark Zahra on top. It hasn't got a really good barrier, but it doesn't really matter at Caulfield. It's a tremendous track. I love the track at Caulfield, my favourite track in Australia. So Members Joy for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us. This has been another edition here on SportsHub for Tote Sports YouTube channel, Hobart Cup edition. We've got a couple more to go, don't worry about that.
Well, I was going to say, don't forget that if you come out to the track and open up an account at it, just off to the left,
Cha-ching.
You'll get a lazy $25 into your account. And also, don't forget to join up the Tassie Summer Carnival Challenge, where you put your tips in, you can win up to $40,000 in prizes.
Look forward to catching up with you again as the carnival moves to Launceston and the big meets over there in the coming weeks. Stay tuned to SportsHub.